So in the previous class, we were studied about the sinusoidal PMEC motors and trapezoidal PMEC motors. So in this session, we are going to study that brushless DC motor drive for the servo applications, servo motor applications. So how best we can use this? This comes under the brushless DC motor, that is trapezoidal PMEC motor, or now you can also call it as a brushless DC motor. So that will be having here. So here a brushless DC motor will be having a voltage source inverter and a trapezoidal PMEC motor. So entirely the brushless DC motor is coupled with the voltage source inverter. One voltage source inverter will be there, and a trapezoidal PMEC motor, or you can also call it as a brushless DC motor, will be there. And the stator windings are normally here star connected. The connection of the stator winding is star connected, and phase voltage waveforms for a trapezoidal PMEC motors will be shown in the figure. So that I am going to show later. So this total voltage waveforms. What is IA, what is IB, VA, VB. So everything will be there in the waveform. So okay. So what the connection will be like that. The brushless DC motor will be having one voltage source inverter and a star connected stator. Okay. So stator windings are be fed with the current pulses. So that the current pulses will be shown, and here the current pulses, each current pulse will be with the each of 120-degree duration, 120-degree displacement will be there, and these are located in the region where induced voltages is constant and maximum. So we are using such a system which is having constant and maximum induced voltages. So each in that each current pulse will be with the phase difference of 120 degree, and the polarity of the current pulses is same as that of the induced voltages. So if you are using positive pulses, the phase voltage will be positive and current voltage pulses will be positive. Similarly, if you are going to use a negative polarity, so at that time the voltage, induced voltage, will be supplied with the negative terminal, and similarly the current pulses will be negative. So this is our trapezoidal. So trapezoidal is nothing but we are sending the stator voltage in terms of triangulars. So that you can see here. So this is our trapezoidal set of voltage waveforms, or you can say the current waveforms. Okay, and this is our VSI, voltage source inverter. So you people are familiar with this connection. So we are repeatedly about 10 to 15 times that we have used this circuit, VSI circuit. So this VSI circuit is fed with an voltage source, that is a DC. So this the DC is converted into AC here. Inverter, inverting the pulses, inverting the DC pulses into AC pulses. So here the source is DC. We are using a branch or a bridge of thyristors and diodes. So here the nomenclature is very important. TR1, TR4, TR3, TR6, TR5, TR2. Similarly, here we are having corresponding diodes, diode branches, diode parts. So D1, D4. So for thyristor 1, we will be having one diode. For thyristor 4, D4. Okay. For thyristor 1, D1 will be there. For thyristor 3, D3, thyristor 4, D5, diode 5. So like that you have to give the nomenclatures. Like that you have to select. So that is the most important thing while drawing the circuit diagram of VSI, CSI, whatever. Okay. So this is fed into the stator of the synchronous brushless DC motor, or which is called as trapezoidal PMEC motor. Brushless DC motor or trapezoidal PMEC motor. Here we are giving input as a trapezoidal. We are giving input as a trapezoidal current waveforms. That's it. So this is about, so what I have told, the stator windings would be current fed with the current pulses. So these are our current pulses. So the stator winding is fed with our trapezoidal current pulses. Okay. So here the air gap flux. So here the air gap flux is constant. So as I told, which should be maximum and constant. And voltage induced is proportional to the speed of a rotor. So that will be given by E is equals to Kc omega m. So here voltage, that is voltage induced, is our E. So this is our E. The voltage induced is our E. So it is proportional to the speed of the rotor, that is omega m. So this is constant. So that we have studied from the starting class of our industrial drives subject. Induced voltage is directly proportional to the speed of the motor. And here the power supplied to the motor in every interval, that is at every 120-degree phase difference. So as I told previously, the 120-degree phase difference will be there for each phase. So at each interval, the total power supplied to the circuit will be given by P is equals to EID plus of minus E minus ID. So why this is minus E minus ID? That I have told in the previous slide that the the sign, the polarity of the voltage is same as that of the polarity of the current. So for that we have that here we are calculating the power for both positive cycle as well as for negative cycle. So that's why I take it as P for positive EID and negative EID. So if you just add, this is negative means this is not a numerical negative, not mathematical negative. It just means that in negative phase, the positive phase and negative phase. So that is 2 EID. The total power that is supplied to the motor from each interval, that will be given by 2 EID. So E that is equals to, so substitute E is equals to Ke omega m in this equation. So 2 EID, 2 ID into Ke omega, 2 Ke omega into ID. So this is one equation for power supplied to the motor. So okay, so that we got the equation for voltage, we got the equations for power. Now we are go for torque developed by the motor. The final thing, if you are going to analyze any motor, you have to come to the conclusion with the torque, the speed and the current or voltages. Any motor you can take. If you are analyzing the motor or if you are analyzing the circuit, come to the conclusion with the circuit of with the equations of the voltage or current or the speed or the torque. This should be your conclusion finally. So T is equals to P by omega n. So this is our basic formula in order to calculate the torque. The torque will be given by power divided by speed. So with the help of power and speed, we can calculate the torque. So that will be given here Kt into I. So Kt is the constant. Ke is the one kind of constant and Kt is the constant. Okay. So final T is directly proportional to I. This is our required thing. So here torque is directly proportional to the current ID, that is DC link current. And DC current ID flows in the DC link. Okay. So ID is the positive current, or sorry, the DC current that is flowing through our DC link. So that current is directly proportional with to our torque. Okay. So that torque, the equation that I will show. So the not equation, the okay waveform. Okay, later I will show this waveform. I will discuss about this waveform. So now just keep in your mind the torque is directly proportional to the current that is flowing through our DC link. Okay. So here regenerative braking is obtained by reversing the phase currents. So normally the regenerative braking is nothing but reversing of our supply, or else you can also call it as plugging. Regenerative braking, or you can also call it as plugging. So normally these kind of brakings will be used in our traction systems. Leave it. So here the regenerative braking is obtained by reversing of phase currents, or also you can also call it as reversing of source current. So phase current, or also you can call it as a source current. So here our source current is ID. So the power flow is from machine to the inverter and from inverter to the DC source. Reverse opposite. In the regenerative braking, the operation will be reverse. So what happens? If you are going to apply the regenerative braking, automatically that will be done by using reversing of the phases, reversing of the phase currents. So by doing so, what we can get? The power flow will be from machine to the inverter. Okay, here the power flow is from machine to the inverter and inverter to the source. So normally the power flow is from source to the inverter and inverter to the machine. So if you are going to operate the regenerative braking, then by reversing the current phases, you can get that the reversing of the power flow from machine to the inverter and from inverter to the DC sources. That's the point. Okay. So when speed is reversed, the polarity of the induced voltage is also reverses. Why? When the speed is reverses, you can look at here. When the speed is reverses, automatically the polarity of the induced current, or also you can call it as induced voltages, is also reverses, since E is directly proportional to omega m, or you can also call it as omega m is directly proportional to E. So ನಿಮ್ದು ವೋಲ್ಟೇಜ್ ಏನಾದರೂ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಯಿತು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಆಟೋಮೆಟಿಕಲಿ ಸ್ಪೀಡು ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಸ್ಪೀಡ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಯಿತು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಈ ಕಡೆ ಇಂಡ್ಯೂಸ್ಡ್ ವೋಲ್ಟೇಜ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಪೊಲಾರಿಟಿ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ದಟ್ಸ್ ದ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಪೀಪಲ್ ನೀಡ್ ಟು ರಿಮೆಂಬರ್. The voltage, okay, and the next thing is regenerative braking operation, direction reverses, that okay. So during the period of 0 degree to 60 degree, so this is our supply, this is our the interval, this is the interval that we are going to give to our firing circuits, firing angles. So for 0 degree to 60 degree, so here IA will be equals to ID, nothing but the current that is flowing through the phase A will be equals to the source current, and similarly the current that is flowing through the phase B, the current that is flowing through the phase B and phase A. So the current flowing for the duration 0 degree to 60 degree, IA will be equals to DC link current and IB equals to negative of the DC link current. This is the point that I am interested to tell. And here the current enters through the phase A and leaves through the phase B. Here current enters through the phase A and leaves through the phase B. Got it? ID comes here, flows to TR1, from the TR1 phase A, rear stator terminal of A and stator terminal B, reverses. That's why it is named as your negative ID, because it is reverse flowing, just like a neutral. Okay, okay, B and TR6 and back to source. TR1 phase A, phase B, TR6 back to source, from the TR6 back to source. Okay, so when the transistors are connected here for TR1 and TR6, okay, so similarly you can go for the condition TR3, TR2, or else TR5, TR6, TR3, TR4, any combination you can take, but only thing is you have to flow the current into our machine. Like that you can choose any path. Okay, so here TR1 and TR2 is our transistors, sorry, TR1 and TR6 are our transistor set of transistors that we are considering, so which is connected at phase A and phase B. Okay, so these are connected at the positive terminals and negative terminals. TR1 and D1 are connected at positive terminal of our DC source. TR6 and D6 is connected at our negative terminal of our DC source. So through this phase A, positive current IA will be flowing. So the terminal or the transistors which are connected at the positive terminal of our supply, through them the positive current will be flowing. So in this configuration, the positive terminal is connected at TR1. So for that, the positive current is flowing through TR1. And similarly, in my configuration, TR6 is connected at the negative terminal. So through the TR6, negative phase current will be flowing. Negative phase current will be flowing. So that is the flow of current. So if TR1 or TR6 is turned off, so when TR1 and TR6 are turned off, then current flow through the path considering the phase A and phase B will be like this. Will be like D1 flowing up to D6. TR1, D1, TR6, D6. Okay. So when TR1 is turned off, current will be flown through this. Here, and like this. Okay. So this is our path. So that's why they are using diodes along with the transistors, which are acts like a bypass devices. So since the current has flown against the voltage VD here, the rate of change of IA will be positive. So when in this configuration, when the current flown against the voltage VD, at that time the rate of change of current IA will be positive. IA will be negative. So in this condition, IA will be negative. Therefore, TR1 and TR6 and phase A, phase B flows through the hysteresis bands. So this is our hysteresis band. So this is upper band and this is lower band. So this is our phase A current. So during positive cycle, this will be like from lower end to upper band. So after that, negative band. This is negative ID. So this is our positive ID. This is our negative ID. So positive ID flowing through the TR1 and phase A, and negative IA will be flown from phase B to TR6 and back to source. So like that, trapezoidal set of waveforms will be flowing. This is just like a hysteresis band that we studied now. People, I hope people remember the current source inverter strategy. So there also we studied the hysteresis band. So this is the configuration similar to that. Okay. So we have left. I hope here the alternating turn on and turn off of TR1 and TR6. So here at one condition TR1 will be on, TR6 will be off, and after one cycle TR6 will be on, TR1 will be off. So like that, alternatively we can turn on and turn off of our TR1 and TR6. So this made a phase A current can be follow the current ID within the hysteresis band. And here we have 6 rotor angular positions. 6 rotor angular positions are required for detection detected per cycle. Because 6 is 6 rotors. So rotor positions depending upon for each rotor position we need each thyristors. So for 3 upper, 3 lower, total 6 6 angular positions. So for this 6 angular positions detected by the magnitude and direction of the magnetic field. Okay, so that will be done for every 60 degree, 0 to 60, 60 to 120, 120 to 180, 180 to 240, 240 to 300, 300 to 360. Like that, for every 60 degree of electrical interval, the stator winding with the suitable stator winding and optical sensors. So we are using the technology. Here sensors are used with the brushless DC motors, so which is cheaper compared to sinusoidal PMAC motor. So we are using sensors here in order to detect the position. So the sensors that used in a trapezoidal PMAC motors are cheaper compared to the sensors used in our sinusoidal PMAC motors. Okay. So that's the thing about brushless DC motor applications with servo motor applications. Here, this is the waveform. So as I told, so this is the waveform. You can say this is A, B, C, and this is D, E, F, G. Okay. Induced phase voltages, phase. So E, A, E, B, E, C. These are our induced set of voltages for phase A, phase B, phase. And IA. Yes. So this is phase A, phase B, phase C. Induced voltages and IA, IB, IC. So these are our phase currents. So T is our torque. T is our torque. So we will study this waveform one by one. So look at here. So as I previously told, for every 60 degree phase angle, the operation is taking place. So first phase A. So first phase A, the voltage is flowing through this for 60 degree. So till here. So till here we can consider for the first set. So this is for first set. First set of 60 degree, first interval. Okay. So what happens here? The voltage is flowing through the phase A. Voltage is flowing through the phase A. So when the current is voltage is flowing through phase A, similarly current is flowing here. So vice versa. So for phase A current, you can observe the voltage at phase A. Similarly, okay. So automatically at that time, what I told. So if IA is positive, similarly ID is also positive. So if IB is at the same time, IB will be flowing negative ID. I told now here. Okay, I was just explained. I have not written here, right? Somewhere here. Look at. So for 0 degree to 60 degree, IA is equals to ID and IB is equals to minus ID. Look at it. IA is equals to ID and IB is equals to negative of ID. Negative of ID. Right? So this is the for 0 to 60 degree. So when IA is flowing, ID will be positive and similarly IB will be negative ID. At that time there will be no IC. So for this the torque is, so we have to get continuous torque. Torque fluctuate irbardu. Brushless DC motor, or I can take any type of motor which we are using for servo motor applications, the torque should be kept constant. So like that we have to operate. Now we go on TR1 on ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ TR6 ಆಫ್ ಮಾಡಿ, or TR1 ಆನ್ ಆಫ್ ಮಾಡಿ TR6 ಆನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ, ಆ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ ಟಾರ್ಕ್ ವೇರಿ ಆಗಬಾರ್ದು. The torque should not be vary. The torque should be keep constant. So like that, we have to manage our device, right? So what happened there? So when TR1 is on or TR6 is off, there also we have to keep the torque constant. So similarly, go for next phase of interval, 62 to 120 degree. So here what happened? The same current is passed. The same current is passed here. Okay. So this current made to flow the voltage IB. So same phase current, same phase voltage is flowing here. So at that time, during this interval, there will be a fluctuations in the voltages between IB and IC. Okay, so that you can observe here. Now, three phase voltage tagondidvi antandre, each phase will be differentiated with 120 degree angle. Right? So for first set voltage, for first set interval, this will be our waveforms. For next set, the voltage waveforms will be changes gradually. So here in the at 120 degree, the phase A voltage is gradually decreases. At the same time, it is increases constant in the phase B. So this constant phase B made to flow the voltage constant in here in this duration. This is our ID. IB kept constant. So this keeping constant of IB and EB made to flow that torque constant. Because of the constant voltage and constant current, the torque will be constant here also. So for next 120 degree, so 62 to 120, 120 to 240, next 240 to 360. So 240 to 360. So here the phase A current is, phase A voltage is gradually increases. So by increasing gradually in phase A, the phase B will be gradually decreases. So this increase and decreases keep IC constant, EC constant. So this phase voltage constant VC, EC keeping the current IC constant, keeping the current constant IC. So this constant VC and constant IC made to flow the torque constant. So like that I have told now, the torque should be kept constant. So the conclusion, what we derived here, the torque is directly proportional to ID. That you can observe here. So everywhere the ID is made. So first here this ID is constant here. So this is conclusion. So the conclusion that we derived, torque is directly proportional to ID. So the torque is directly proportional to ID. So how torque is directly proportional to ID? So this is our ID. So this constant, the current constant ID made the torque constant here. So next cycle, the IB is made ID constant. So in the first cycle, IA is made ID constant. In the next cycle, IB is made ID constant. So see, look at here, this ID made torque constant. And in the third cycle, IC made ID constant. IC made ID positive. Sorry. IA made ID positive. IB made ID positive. IC made ID positive. So this positive ID leads the torque constant here. So ID is directly proportional to torque. So this is our conclusion with respect to different voltage waveforms. So this is the applications of a brushless DC motor in our servo motor. So that's all about the synchronous motor. And in the next session we will discuss about stepper motors. Okay, what is meant by stepper motor? What is the variable reluctance? In the variable reluctance we will be having single stack, multi-stack, then a permanent magnet, then what are the important features of our stepper motor, and the torque and stepping rate factors, characteristics. Finally, with drive circuits, what are the different drive circuits are there in our stepper motor. So that we will discuss in the next sessions. So till today you will be having in your internals. This is the syllabus for your third I. Fine.